put money on my books.
So that's so crazy that your mom would ask that. I don't think my mom's ever asked me that.
And my mom has too.
I think now that they're...
I think my mom just thinks she's a perfect parent, but go ahead.
No, like, I think they do want to ask you, and she's probably had that conversation with Jose or Jasmine or Jennifer.
Let's be honest here. She's going to have that conversation with me first.
Yeah, because she's hearing you talk about it.
No, she doesn't listen to the show, so I can talk all the shit I want.
No, my mom, sometimes I be getting home, and she's, like, super emotional or sentimental, and she's just, like...
Reflecting.
She'll tell me things that I wish she would have sat down with me at, like, 12, 13, even 18, you know, when I left the house. And she's just like, but why do you think that? She's like, because I see, like, my friends dealing with, like, their teens. She's like, ustedes nunca eran así. She's like, you never gave me an issue. And Alonso started being crazy at, like...
18.
Yeah, like, he wasn't like, a problematic, like, teen. Yeah. Like, up until, like, I left the house and he stayed with my parents by himself is when he started, like, walling out. But...
I wonder if it was also because you were his calm. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think I was just a 6'9" to him. I was a snitch. I did not put up with him. I did not put up with anything. Like, if he was, like, trying to smoke a cigarette, I'm like, I'm telling. I'm taking a picture and I'm telling. I will drive my ass to my mom's job and tell on you.
It's so crazy to hear that you had this type of relationship with your brother.
Yeah, no,
it was so opposite from my relationship with my brother.
Yeah.
Because me and him have always been close.
Yeah, you guys were partners in crime.
Yeah, like, we were always doing stuff together. We were always, like... you know, planning things together. We'd always do stuff, like, literally, like
you were doing hood rat stuff with Jose.
But it's always like that. It's always the older sister with the younger brother, and in your case, you were the older sister, and he's the only brother. Yeah. I mean, that's like Arturo and I are really, really close too. Mm-hmm. Not saying that he's not close to Maria, but we like
it was the closest. Yeah, you feel.
And then Patty and Diriel, like they're really close to each other.
Yeah,
maybe I think that's
like maybe I don't know. And I think we're only a year, but you guys are about a couple years. Is it a year or 2 years apart?
We're a year. He turned 30 and I'm 31. But we're close in the fact that if he gets in stuff, like,
you're there.
I'm there, you know, like, whatever. But just like when we grew up, we weren't like loving. Like, I think the first time I hugged Alonso, other than like baby pictures and kid pictures, was like, I think when Ross was born.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you were gonna say his wedding.
No.
Like, whoa.
Mm-mm. And I was telling my mom that, I'm like, I think the only thing that I can blame on my parents is that, like, they didn't show us to be loving, not even with them. So I don't know if that, like, carried on for us to being adults, but I mean,
I wouldn't say that because your kids are very loving.
Yeah, no, my kids are loving, and so is Alonso to, like, other people, and so am I to other people.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so weird that you like that. That I'm getting to know, like, this version of you, because growing up, I just always figured you guys were all so close.
No,
you know, like, everything was just
we're close in the point where
it's us looking from the outside.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is you don't really. I guess you just kind of show, so people won't wonder. You're just kind of like, let's just be adults.
Yeah. Let's just play along.
Yeah. Let's just be adults and stuff.
Because Alonso, every time he's seen me, like, even my daughter, he'll be like, oh, she's so cute.
Yeah.
Why is she,
oh, no.
She don't
like,
look like you. You know, like, it's like funny things. Like, she don't look like you. Who's she? Who's
she yours?
Yeah.
Is she yours?
No, that's how he is. He's a loving person to, like, everyone. It's just... And he's a loving person to my kids. Like, I think he loves Alfred more than he loves me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it's because he knows, like, if I start acting out or, like, you know, if I'm going through some shit mentally or something, he's there. Like, he's like there, you know. But in the same, if he's going through some shit, I'm literally there. But between that and that, I'm not, like, in his life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know his phone number. If you were to ask me, hey, what's his number? I don't know. I don't have him in my phone.
My brother changes so many times like that. I don't know. Like, I try to call his baby mama sometimes, and I'm just like, hey, is he there?
Mm-hmm. And see, I think that's the whole thing, going back to how I would have raised my kids or how they would be different in Mexico. My mom's mentality, I think, coming from Mexico,
would have carried on.
Like, I think that would have been my kids. Like, I would have had one kid and he or she would have been closed-minded, non-emotional, like, just...
cultured.
Yeah, just kind of like, blah. Like, I don't care about life, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, here, I'm just kind of like, no, like, love your brother, love your sister, you know, respect people, but don't, you know, let people touch you.
I think one thing I always tell my kids is, like, you and your sister are literally living a life that nobody else can understand together since they're so close in age. I'm like, you guys will only understand each other, like what you grew up with. Like, you will understand what she's going through. He's gonna understand what you're going through. So that's why you guys have to get along. I'm tired of y'all fucking fighting. I'm so over it.
They fight, like, hit each other?
Oh my God, girl. It's like, it just started like a week ago. Where they're like punching each other in the face. No. They're like punching each other in the face. This is only the beginning. Don't tell me that. Yeah, they're like punching each other in the face. And like, he said, she said. And Max is like, I beat her up because she did this to me. But I did this to her, but she still hit me. And I'm just like, you can't do that. Like, you can't. First of all, she's a girl. You don't hit girls. Come tell me and I'll beat her ass. You know, like, whatever she does. Like, stop. Like, but no, yeah, they fight all the time. Like, I don't know.
It's only the beginning, girl.
I don't know.
It just
I'm just
worse.
over it. Like, now I've been so out of tune lately with it that I just ignore them. Like, they'll fight and they'll like, Mom, Mom. You just hear it throughout the whole house, and I'm just like, nothing's bothering me. Yeah, like nothing's bothering me. I'm just like,
I've tuned mine out, or I'll be like, el que primero chille, like, I'm gonna fuck you up, you guys. Don't cry. Like, no, better not cry.
You know what I thought would change, like, as they grew up, is the whole bathroom situation.
Junior's
my
taking
kids
forever.
No. My kids, like, ever since they were little, they'd walk in. Like, I'd be going to the bathroom
with you,
and they'd walk in. Mom, what are you doing? You know, like, and now, like,
they're on the phone.
Yes, I
You're
thought,
like, put that phone.
And I would think that they would grow out
on
of it.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe they would grow out of it, but no.
It's gone worse.
Yes, like, Max will literally, like, open the door like hella fast, and like, it'll scare me, and I'm like, what? I'm using the bathroom. Get out. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm using the bathroom. Are you almost done? Why? What do you need? I want some cereal.
Yeah.
Go get it yourself. Yeah, I was like, go get it yourself. And then he'll be like, okay, Mom, one more question. I forgot. And then
is he cracking up?
No, like, he's serious. But it's just because I guess it's just been us three this whole time. That they're just used to, like, there's no boundaries in the house. Like, they come in whenever they please anywhere in the house. Like, I'm changing and they're literally coming through the door, and it's like, whatever.
I've had to be more careful with that because Junior, I mean, he's gotten older and he still, like, doesn't understand that you have to knock at my door because I could be changing. And the other day he opened the door while I was, like, in the middle of, like, changing. I'm like, dude, shut the fucking door, dude. And he's like, why? I'm like, dude, I'm changing. I'm naked. Like, dude, come on. Like,
really have some fucking respect. Damn. Oh my God. Yes, I can't break that habit. I don't know how to break that habit anymore because it's just like, and I think the same thing because I was just like, well, they're gonna get older and I'm out here fucking walking around in, like, booty shorts and shit. And that's not appropriate anymore. But then I've also heard that, like, I've heard of people, and I saw this on TikTok the other day, of this guy who was like, my mom she walked around naked in the house, like, up until I was, like, 16, 17. It was, like, a normal thing, and I didn't see it in any other way. Like, I literally, grew inside of her. Like, I came out of her vagina. Like, I was sucking on her boobs. Like, you know, all the way to a certain age. So, he's like, I just feel like when people feel like that's weird, they're sexualizing something that shouldn't be sexualized. So, I was just like, well, he kind of has a point. But I'm still not gonna walk around naked, you know, because that's weird. I feel weird about it. It's not even about them. It's just about me. But yeah, I don't know how to break those habits anymore. I'm fucked.
When I sleep in just a t-shirt and, like, some pajama shorts. And the other day, Isa was helping me fold the laundry, and she put on my shorts and, like, she chewied them. Like, she's like, "Hi, I'm Sita, and these are my pajamas." I'm like, "Give me that shit. Like, fold it. Like, stop."
You say you embarrass your kids a lot?
Yeah.
Do they embarrass you?
Yeah, but I don't tell them.
You don't tell them?
No, they don't embarrass me. Like, I don't. If I'm, like, in public or, like, closed doors, there's nothing that has embarrassed me about them. They're, like, quirky. They're just silly. Like, I
laugh. They make me laugh a lot.
Nothing embarrasses me.
I crack up. Your laugh is so funny. It's like contagious because, like, she'll be on Snapchat and she'll be, like, laughing at her daughters. Like, she'll take videos and then she'll be laughing in the background and I'm just, like, cracking up laughing. Not for the video, but just because
she started laughing.
So, laughing so, like, hysterical.
I think my kids are, like, entertaining. Like, they make me
I wish my kids were that entertaining. They piss me the fuck off. And I'm just sitting there and my mom's like, it's because you're just like that. It is bien enojona. Like, you don't, nothing amuses you. Because my son is a lot like my mom's side of the family. Like, they laugh about the stupidest shit and, like, it
irritates you.
Yeah. And they'll be sitting there, like, Jose does it too. Like, they'll laugh at you. Like, just to irritate you.
Yeah.
Like, they'll laugh. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'll tell him, I'm like, if you keep fucking laughing, and then he keeps laughing because he thinks it's funny that I'm mad, and I'm like, I swear to God, I'm about to pop you in the mouth. Like, it's not even funny. Like, stop. But no.
Didier loves and laughs so hard at Pata's laugh.
Yeah, he's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's really contagious.
Yeah,
like,
he's so stupid.
Sometimes I'm not even laughing like at what he said. I'm laughing at
his
laugh. Yeah.
Well, not just him. He's a whole ass character.
Yeah, he is.
Jose is like
funny.
Yeah, like that's why like now that we're older, it's so weird because we all get together now, like us siblings, and we'll like get drunk together and we'll have like fun together, and it's so hilarious to me because like. I told my mom, I was like, I never expected us to grow up and like hang out
and that
like,
be the thing.
Yes, and like hang out. I was like, I never imagined myself with my brother and his wife and my sister and her boyfriend
and their kids
and their kid and us like cracking up laughing like teenagers. Still, I was like, it's really weird.
I cannot wait for that. Like. At all.
For
like right now it's with my sister. Like we drink
Your sister's
together.
hilarious.
Oh, crazy.
Your sister's so funny.
Dude.
She's like gets drunk and starts dancing all
Yeah. Every time I see her, I'm like, she's getting it. She's living life.
No invite. Fuck.
I know.
She don't
Let
care.
me be part of that group. I also wanted to
comfortable.
talk about the stay-at-home mom versus the working mom debate because there's always a debate about that. And I want to know what you guys thought about it.
Like debate and what do you mean? Like who's better?
Yes, there's always a debate about
I think there's a debate in everything.
Yeah, there's a debate in everything. You're right. I just feel like people take to offense, like the stay-at-home moms take to offense with
what working people say.
What working people say. And working people say take offense to what stay-at-home mom. You know, like, I'm working my ass off and you're staying at home. What are you doing? You know, staying at home. Or like the stay-at-home, like, well, it's a full-time job. You know, I'm just as tired as you. You know, like, it's kind of like a back and forth thing.
I think it comes more from your spouse than an individual that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll lash out at a working parent because my husband tells me, like, hey, you're lacking here or you're lacking there. I don't think it's necessarily like I hate a working parent, at least in my case.
But it's different, though, because you were a working parent.
Yeah, I worked for 13 years. I retired.
She's like, I retired.
I retired.
Because I can't, bitches. Get on her level.
I think for me, it was easier to work, honestly. Like a job. I would go in at 7 and I would come out at like 1:30. And I was accomplished. I didn't have to try anymore after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would clock out and I already did what I had to do for the day. So I was like, I get to just be a stay-at-home mom from 1:30 till the next day. So I think I had the best of both worlds when I worked, and it worked. Like, my mother-in-law took care of my kids. If I needed to work overtime, like, she got them. She was like, yeah, I got it. So I think it's more mentally, like, if your family's in there with you, whether you're a working parent or a stay-at-home mom, you'll thrive, whether you're a working home or whether you're working in an office or at McDonald's or anywhere that you're working. Yeah. But if you're by yourself as a single person working, having to deal with kids, I think that should be like a crown itself.
Yeah.
Because if I can't complain if I'm working, 7 to 1 and then coming home and enjoying my kids because my husband doesn't get to do that. Yeah. Like Alfred will go days without seeing the kids fully awake. And I'm just like, I can't nag and be like, oh, I got to go to work and sit on my phone all day and collect a check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that I'm at home doing nothing, it's a luxury being at home. It's literally, I mean, yes, I'm like cooking for them, sometimes or like cleaning for them all the damn time. But I can't complain. I can't be like, oh, I'm so exhausted at the end of the day because I'm not.
You're like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with because me, I'm like always working. I'm always trying to find like a side hustle. I'm always doing something.
You are.
And my sister, she's a stay-at-home mom. And she's always like, I don't know how you do it, Sita. Like, you're always trying to do something. I'm like, and I don't know how you do it. I'm like, you have 4 kids. Like, you always have, like, dinner ready for your husband. I was like, do you not get tired of it? She's like, I can't. She's like, I can't work because my paycheck would go, like,
to take care of the kids.
She's like, there's no point in me working. I'm like, do you not, like, get tired of the routine? She's like, no, like, I have fun. So, and then with me, like, I think the only reason why I have accomplished what I have is because I have her support. I'm pretty sure if I didn't have my sister, like, taking care of my kids or picking them up when I need her to, I wouldn't I wouldn't survive.
It's all about that support. Because if you don't have it, whether it's your mother-in-law, your sister, a cousin, your grandma, your mom, dude, I wouldn't be able to have worked 13 years of my life.
Yeah.
So I've worked 2 jobs, like consecutively. I went to work, and just like you, it was on my phone, but I did do stuff at my daytime job.
I mean,
from
it's mentally draining.
It is mentally draining. I went to work from 9 to 6, and then from
I couldn't do 9 to 6.
I did 9 to 6, and then would go to my second job from 7 to 3 in the morning.
Oh no.
Okay, and then I would do that like at least four days a week, and then I would come home and I would have to be a parent because I'm a single parent. To me, I don't know. I think they're both exhausting.
Yeah.
I've stayed at home. I'm not saying that I'm a stay-at-home mom, but the days I would stay like one day, one entire day with them, it would like literally drain me because I'd be like, I gotta feed them. They're hungry again.
Why are you
we gotta
crying?
clean the house.
Yeah.
We gotta do this. We gotta do that. And you know, and my kids are so used to that lifestyle now. Like we're so always on the go.
The routine.
Like we're always on the go. We're always doing something. We always have something to do, and they're used to that. But I can't imagine people's kids who aren't used to that life, that are used to being at home. Like my sister Jennifer, her whole life she was used to being at home with my mom. Like for her, she didn't have the life that I had growing up, where I was used to my mom going to work at night, or you know, or working, having a job. Like it was a normal thing for me, but for her, it was a luxury for her to have my mom at home. And even then, like I still see my mom tired. Like she'd get up at like 5 a.m. to make my dad his lunch, had to have the kids ready for school, get them ready, get them breakfast, take them to school, come home, pick up, clean, do everything that she had to do at the house. And
that's
then,
already a job though. Like I feel like that's a full-time job too.
And and to me, I'm just like, wow. Like for people who have younger kids that aren't in school and have to entertain them, like now, like that I see my kids that are in school, they have somebody who entertains them. You know, they go to school to get educated. But like people who have kids that are like 4 and under, I'm like, so you have to like make ideas, have ideas ready of what they're gonna do, like try to do school stuff at home, or try to make them learn something or teach them something. At the same time, like not only entertaining them, cleaning the house, getting their lunches ready. I don't understand how people with like twins or triplets or quadruplets, and I don't understand how they do it, like at all. Like I'm just like whatever, you know. So like I get what you're saying with the whole thing, but I also get like the stay at home mom. Like it's hard separately, but it's hard together as well.
Yeah,
I think it's equally as frustrating because women already carry so much. Like you can do it. You know what I mean? Like you can birth kids, you can take care of kids, you can go to work and still have kids, you can have a career and still have kids. Like everything is doable in the perfect world.
Yeah.
But you have to have a perfect team behind you. And honestly, if you're doing it by yourself, your mental state has to be at least like an 80. Because I be waking up and I'm at a 20. And I'm like at a 22 by the end of the night. Like I don't go past a 25. You know what I mean? But I think with me working so much, if you can even call it working, I learned that you're equally as drained at the end of the day if you have kids at home. Because, you know, I'll wake up at 4:30 and get Fred's stuff ready. I got to get, you know, what he's wearing. I got to get the towel. You know what I mean? Like I got to get all that because I'm a control freak. I have to control that aspect.
I was going to ask if it was because you knew that you're at home and he's working and you wanted him to get more rest, or
no,
you said it was because
it's literally because I'm a controlling person. I need to have control of my environment or I won't succeed that day. You know what I mean? Like if I do things at night to plan for the day, dude, my day is like worth shit.
You're like, it's ruined.
Yeah, because like I've pre-planned to do that. So I think not necessarily, and I think that people are like, oh, you know, being at home, and I've heard the same thing, like being at home is so stressful, being at work is so stressful. And I'm just like, it's stressful whether you're at home or whether you're at work. It's beneficial because you get extra income if you're at work, but it's also beneficial because you get to have that bond with your kids if you're at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
So I think it's rewarding either way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's equally draining.
I feel like
I
miss so much of my kids' upbringing. Like I feel like I owe most of it to my mom.
Yeah.
Because she helped me raise them.
That's how I am with
I
my kids.
always tell my mom, I'm like, I don't even, like, you're my baby daddy.
Yeah.
Like really. I like really talking like you're my baby daddy.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who's literally helped me raise these kids.
Yeah. I would come home from like work and stuff and I would make my kids food and they'd be like, I would give them a fork and they'd be like, but my grandma gives me a spoon with this.
Yeah.
Or
did that annoy you?
No, because
it annoys me.
Because my mother-in-law is just like my support. Like I couldn't be like, my mom would take care of my kids on the week on Saturdays and stuff, and I would just have that clarity like, okay, I can go to work, collect my paycheck, contribute to an income and just be good. And now I don't have income, so I'm like, I'm fucked either way. I'm tired at the end of the night. And, my gratitude comes from my kids being fed, being clean, going to school. They don't have cavities in their teeth like I did when I was growing up because my mom had no time to take me to the dentist. My kids, if they need glasses, I'm going to go get them. You know what I mean? So there's a equal, but it is fucking draining, and I applaud people that do that by themselves with no fucking team, with no help. Because I'm like, you know what? That's the real deal. Because I just have too many people helping me to, be a stay-at-home mom.
And with my mom, like, mom was single, like, she never remarried. Yeah. She did everything she could. I took her for granted, and I said, like, a lot of mean things to her that I now regret. And now that I'm older, I'm like, man, my mom, like, she's amazing. Like, I've never met a woman like her before.
No, you know what is so crazy to me? Like, that she was such a dedicated mother that she refused to get, like, remarried, to be with anybody because, like, her main focus was her kids.
Yeah. And now, like, at night, like, I'll, like, you know how, like, you, like, talk to your husband or whatever before you go to bed. Like, sometimes I'll be like, Lidia, like, my mom doesn't have what we have.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm like, if I am having an issue, like, me desahogo contigo. I was like, my mom, who does she talk to? Like, she has
to
no
get
one
her
at
a
night.
boyfriend.
Because I bet you,
I'm
like,
like,
even if she was to have a problem, like, calling you guys and telling you guys, like, hey, I have this issue, like, mortifies her.
Yeah.
Because that's going to add stress to your guys'
to us,
hectic day.
Yeah, and it will. Like, sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, hi, mija, que this and this happened. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Mom? Yeah. And she knows, like, it stresses me out. So, like, she does avoid doing it. But if she has no other, like,
person,
I know she'll call me. And, like, but yeah, like, when sometimes it gets to me, I'm like, man, my mom is by herself. Like, like, I can't. I wouldn't.
We need to get her a boyfriend.
We need to get her a boyfriend.
We need to get her a boyfriend. We need to get her on a dating app or something.
We need to get her
Tinder.
The customers.
Mom, swipe left.
Swipe left.
The customers that.
Backwards.
I know. A todos, mija.
A ver cuál pega.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about stay-at-home dads? It's like a new trend. It's a new thing.
What?
Dude, I wish I could afford to stay at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could afford to keep Freddie home, I would.
So get this. My brother is a stay-at-home dad.
Well, see, I think
he babysits his kids. Like
his persona and his personality, I think, is meant for that. You know what I mean?
So? I always am like, are you gonna get a job?
Is he happy?
Amazon. Yeah.
Is he happy?
The thing is, he is so good at it. Like he's
well,
so
good
with the kids. Like with the baby. Like she's a year old, you know, so he's like, and it's so funny because like they'll come over and she, has a dirty diaper. Oh, I'm gonna take her into the bed.
He knows what to do.
Changes her, does her, calms her down. The little girl literally only goes to him, like doesn't go to her mom, goes to him, and I'm just like.
But I think him and Diriel, like, they kind of have the same personality, like a little childish personality.
Yeah, they're childish.
To where, like, they can relate to the kids. So I think that's probably why. Because the kids have more fun. My kids have more fun with Diriel
than they do with
me.
you?
Yeah. Because I don't like the outdoors. I don't like doing anything. I just like being in my room.
They're
watching TV. And Diriel's, like, so, like, hey, let's go to the park. Like, right now he can't. But whenever he could.
Yeah.
Right now he can. For personal reasons
City
that
of
we
Wichita.
can't talk about. Yeah, fuck y'all. No, just kidding. Sponsor us or something. Do something with this. No, I don't. Yeah, my brother's. It's so funny because the other day she's little. She's like 1 year old and she's like walking around. She's eating mango, and all of a sudden she was eating a piece and she goes, "Oh shit!" Like it was so good, Like something my brother would say. And her like.
hey, high five.
Yeah. I'm like sitting there like, wow, like her mannerisms are starting to like reflect Jose's. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so that's what staying at home dads do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have friends that they make more than their husbands, and they can afford to keep their husbands home, and it just works that way. It works out. Like they can thrive, just like just like in a stay at home position, mother position, where you could just be like, oh yeah, you got it. So I think if a man is like, yeah, I got it, like, dude, hell yeah.
Here's where my Mexican like judgment comes in though, because I'm always first, and I always have to catch myself and be like, Elizabeth, do better, like don't, like, Lore, calm down, you know. I'm just like, why? And I always look at my friend like, well, why is he not getting a job? Like, why is he doing that? Like, he should have a job. Like, he shouldn't be taking care of those kids. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be that. And then I'm just like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling myself, like, why are you talking?
But do you think that stems from
culture?
Well, no, maybe culture, but does that stem from maybe your kid's dad not being involved? Like, you're kind of like, not salty, but like your mentality, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think so. Here's the thing. With their dad, he wasn't able to provide for us, which is one of the main reasons why I left him. And I kind of was just like, I don't need you. I got this on my own.
So you have that mindset already that men should be able to.
They should be.
Like they should be. I don't expect, like, the current boyfriend that I have now, I don't expect him, and it's always been an issue between me and him. Like, we go out, and I want to pay for things. And for him, it's an issue, because he's like, you don't have to do that anymore. And to me, it's just like, no, but I'm used to that. That's what I'm used to, taking care of my kids. Like, of what I pay for, what comes in me and what goes into my kids. You know, like, I'm going to pay for it. And for him, it's just like, no. You know, like, and I guess that's what I expected for their dad. Like, I expected for him to be like, I got this.
Yeah, because
let me take care of that.
That's their blood. That's his blood.
Yeah, that's not only that. I just feel, and maybe it's a culture thing, and maybe I have no idea what it could be. But to me, it's just like, I just expect that from men to be they don't have to do it, but just the thought of somebody telling me like, hey, you don't have to do this. Don't do that. Like, I got this because I'm the man, and I'm going to take care of it.
Their initiative to tell you.
Yes, that's what gets me. And for my brother, I just feel like the initiative isn't there. Like, he'd rather just not work and rather just, you know, and to me it's just like, and even when I see other dads, maybe I'm just putting them in one category and that's not right of me to do that. But I do, because I'm just like, well, why are you not working? Why are you making her work? Why are you, like, even if she has a better job, I feel like, because like our parents would be quick to be like, no, pues póngase a trabajar, que lo ponga a trabajar porque está en la casa. Anda de mantenido, you know, like, and it's like frowned upon in our culture. So I don't know. Maybe that's where I get it too.
But both their kids are young, no? Are they in school yet?
Who?
Jose's kids.
No. One of them is in school.
Yeah.
One of them she's in school, and the other one is not.
But maybe it's easier for her to find a nighttime job than it is for him to find a nighttime job and someone to take care of them during the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if Jose got a job, the typical man job would be a day job.
Yeah.
And who's going to take care of the kids? Like, maybe that's, I don't know.
It just works for them.
Yeah, which I understand. But, you know, to me, it's just more of a, like I said, it just always boils down to part of me still wanting to be, still growing up cultured, I guess is what it is. It's, I'm used to seeing the man provide. I'm used to seeing the man work, and like everything extra, like my mom would work. It was just extra for the house or for whatever she wanted.
Yeah. No, Freddie tells me every day, he's like, you need to do better and keep me at home. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. Because, again, I need to have control of stuff. You know what I mean?
No, work. I need money.
Yeah.
We need a new shell. What is it? We need a new something in the backyard.
A pergola.
Not a pergola. I was going to put I was going to say something else.
A gazebo?
No, not a gazebo. I forgot.
What do you want? Like another plant rack or something?
Something. You guys always have something back there. I want to go back there, and I want to be like, wow, it looks so amazing.
I know, Lydia's always talking about
he's always doing
Alfred
something, girl.
snaps, I guess. Like, he's like always doing like stuff to your house.
Yeah, he's always doing something.
He's like, babe, they got a badass new kitchen.
I'm like, you need to stop. So he's like, you need to keep me home. I'm like, hell no, I need to keep myself home.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that you aren't brave enough to tell your mom?
I wasn't brave enough to tell my mom I was pregnant, even though I was fully married, legally married. I'm like, I'm pregnant. I didn't tell anyone until I was like 7 months.
With
you know
who?
what? Same
With Ross.
With
Ross, Esme, and Gali.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Me too.
I didn't know about Gali.
Because it's like, to me, it was like,
So for real,
her
for you guys,
accepting
it's
the fact that I had
Yeah.
sex. Like, to me, like, sex is still like a odd subject
Yeah.
with me and my mom. Like, it would be admitting that I had sex
Yeah.
and got pregnant,
Yeah.
even though that's what really happened.
Or she was gonna narrow down like what day I had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was terrified. I told Alfred, I was like, I don't think I can tell my mom I'm pregnant. He's like, why? He's like, you want me to call her and tell her? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to take care of this?
Yeah, and I work, so I never saw her. I would only see her on weekends. So I was literally 7 months pregnant when I was told, like, you're going to have a scheduled C-section. I'm like, holy shit, I got to tell my mom I'm pregnant. I got to tell with Ross, Esme, and Gali, all three.
Oh, wow.
And she didn't look at you and be like, oh, she's pregnant.
No, she would just be like, pues ya sabía, pero pues, como le dije a tu papá, esa cabrona ni me dice nada. Yeah.
Wow, you
That's
guys
it.
are crazy.
Yeah.
I would
Or-
never. I was the
or
first
if I-
person I called.
Or if I have something like physically wrong with me, like an illness or something, I won't call my mom because she'll worry to
Yeah,
death.
I don't like worrying my mom. I think your mom and my mom
Yeah,
are very
they're alike.
Yeah, even the sopita, remember?
Yeah.
The sopita con huevo? Yeah, like, I was like, does anyone else's parents
Yeah.
do this? And she's like, my mom
My mom does it.
Yeah.
Mhm. So I think those two things. I can't tell her I'm pregnant or if there's something wrong with me. I can have, like, when I had COVID in September, I didn't call my mom and tell her. Like, she came to my house to take care of me, like, for 3 days, and I did not tell her I had COVID. I couldn't. I'm
Why?
like, it's
So
just
you
a
rather her
cold.
get COVID?
She didn't get COVID. That woman, thank God.
resilient.
Thank God. Well, she, like, stays away. You know what I mean? Like, she'll go and she'll check on the kids, fed the kids, and then she went home. But, yeah, I can't tell my mom I'm sick or I'm pregnant. Yeah. I'm terrified. Like, I will have a panic attack.
Y'all are crazy.
I don't tell her when me and Diriel fight either. Like,
Oh, no, I'll keep that away, too.
I don't tell anyone. Like, I don't.
I tell my kids.
Yeah.
She's like, we be boxing, so
I'll
we
be
don't
like,
be telling
fuck your
anybody.
dad. Fuck you guys too. Like, if y'all take his side. But no, I don't like telling anyone.
You?
No,
Are you scared to tell China anything?
No, I'm not. Okay, so I've always been an open book. Like,
Yeah.
I will,
Yeah.
my mom knows who I am. Everybody knows exactly in the house who I am. Like, the other day, my dad got home.
You're the
drunk.
HBIC in there.
So, the other day, my dad got home drunk. And he was driving, and he knows that shit pisses me off. And my sister was like texting me, you better go over there and talk to him. You better go tell him something. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna go tell, because they already know, like, that I'm the first one to go yell at them or say something and tell them the truth. But it's really hard for me to tell my mom, like, everything that I talk about here, I can't tell it to her face.
No.
Like, about the whole thing, about her not understanding. Like, I can't
Jasmine's
sit down.
situation.
Yeah, like Jasmine's situation or my situation. I can't have that conversation with her because she is so sensitive that she would
take it to heart.
She would take it to heart
yeah.
and be like, what do you mean I don't understand? Like, I understand everything. I'm a mother. I had you and I raised you guys and I did this and that. You know, so to me, it's just like, it's part of me is like, I don't want to have that conversation because I already know how it's going to end.
So you ignore it.
So I ignore it. So I'm not brave enough to really tell her, like, hey, no offense, but you don't understand what I'm going through. I just kind of take her advice in and I'm just like, okay, like, I'm going to take little bits and pieces of what I think, but I'm not going to take it fully because you don't get what I'm going through. But yeah, no, other than that, I tell her everything. Yeah. Let's be honest. I'll be like, Mom, that hair color don't look good on you.
Yeah?
Yeah,
No.
I will. Like, if she goes and gets her hair done, I'll be like, that color is not for you. That color is not for you.
Does your mom still pull my mom still does that que dirá la gente card?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine, I had a really, like, I made her cry a lot. Was it last year? I think it was last year. We went out for my sister's birthday and we didn't come home till like 2 a.m. She was livid. She was going off on Diriel, like telling him that como que me va a dejar andar like sola estas horas de la noche. She was gonna call Noé, tell him that my sister was out, and
damn, she was gonna snitch everyone.
And Diriel was
she
taking
said, y'all
care of
are
the
all
kids.
going down.
Diriel's like, I let Sira go. He's like, I gave her permission, and then she called Noé, and Noé's like, I'm out of town. What do you want me to do? I let Mari go. He's like, what? Like, what?
They were all good.
Yeah, they were all good. But my mom was tripping. She made her come home early. Hell no, I partied.
Yeah.
You're like,
but the next day, she's like, ¿Qué dirá la gente? Ustedes están casadas. I'm like, no me importa. I was like, a mí no me importa lo que diga la gente. I was like, no me dan de comer, no me pagan mis biles. Like, ¿qué? Like, ¿qué van a hacer? ¿Qué me van a hacer? Like,
yeah. I think it's just because,
again,
it goes back to the culture at the end of the day. Like, you have to respect your husband. You have to be at home. You can't be acting crazy. Like, yeah.
Without your husband.
Yeah. Like, we get it all the time. Like, I'm telling you, we go to my house and we get shit. Like, we get plastered over there. And, like, my mom will be calling me, like, is everybody at home? I don't know why you guys get drunk. I don't know why you guys are all drinking. Like, ya tan viejos y andan de ridículos. Like, and I'm just like, we just having a good time. Like, the kids are fine. Like, I'm not that drunk. Everybody else, I got everybody drunk.
You're like, I answered, didn't I? I'm good.
No, I'm like, because usually that's how it goes. I get everybody fucking plastered and I'm just sitting there laughing at them. Like, that's usually how it goes. And I'm just like, I'm fine. Somebody's always sober and somebody takes care of everybody. Yeah. Like, the kids are asleep. They're fine. Like,
I mean, it's not like you guys are at a stranger's house. You guys.
My mom, I don't know if you guys knew this, but my mom didn't start drinking till she was well over like 35 or 36. She was 35 or 36 when she first started drinking.
Really?
Yeah.
And she loves that tequila.
Oh, that woman.
That must have been the first thing she drank because she didn't let it go.
Drink. That woman can hang. Yeah, no, she was old and she'll tell me, she's like, yo no sé por qué son bien borrachas. If, you know, like, I didn't start drinking till I was in my 30s. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that's not my fault. Like, that you didn't have a adolescence. Like, that's on you, you know? Like,
that's the fun part about growing up, Mom.
Yeah, that's your fault for getting married at 15. Yeah. I got married. I didn't even get married. I was, like, a single mom at 23, 24.
And my mom just started drinking with us just, like, a year ago. Like, a beer. Like,
my mom got your mom plastered once.
She did. Oh, my gosh.
Was it at Greg's house?
Yes.
She was living life that day.
I know. I was like, who is she?
And then someone knocks at the door, and they're like, and I think it was usually like, here's your mom. I'm like, oh, fuck.
She was plastered.
You had to take care of her.
I had to take care of her. My cousins she started calling my cousins, and I was like, oh, my God.
They were all crying.
Yeah, they were all crying.
They were all crying.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you guys think your kids are not brave enough to tell you, or what do you guys think that your kids in the future will not be brave enough to tell you, or do you guys just not know yet?
I think with the trauma that I tell them, like, I question them every day. I think they're afraid to tell me when someone does do something wrong with them. Like, if somebody, like, gives them a stink eye, or if somebody,
them or something.
Yeah, like, or if a kid at school, you know, calls them ugly, or, you know, just like little things like that. I hear between them, you know, like, hey, Esme, are you going to tell my mom about blah, blah, blah? No. She's going to go to school tomorrow and yell at him, you know, or Ross the same, like, you know, I'll hear him like ask someone like, hey, can I borrow this? And that adult will be like, I don't know where it is. And like, I know it's purposely done to like just piss him off, you know, and he won't tell me, but I'll hear it. And I'll, you know, at home, I'll be like, hey, Ross, if this happens again, like, just don't ask for it again. You know, like if somebody like belittles you in front of me, like, just don't do it. And he's like, I know. He's like, I just don't want to tell you because I already know you're going to react. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fear that, like, the same, like, me pushing that, me being so open with that is going to make them afraid to not tell me because they're going to know that my emotions are going to, like,
get the best of it.
I have to probe, like, no, they'll have to probe me. Like, Mom, what would you do if this and this happened? Yeah. And then I'll be like, well, this. And then I'll be like, why? Did someone do this to you? And they'll be like, well, yeah. Or we'll be like, oh, we're going to go, like, this and this person's having a cookout or a party. And they'll be like, oh, we have to go. And, like, once I realize that they don't feel comfortable, like, I won't make them go. And I won't go either. Because if my kids aren't comfortable, it's for a reason. They just don't automatically not like someone. Like, something must have been done to them for them not to want to go.
Yeah.
Like, una cara or... Like, the person that they don't like going to, I guess, like, she's always asking them, like, a million questions. So they're like, I don't know why she asks me so many questions.
Like, nosy?
Yeah.
So I don't make them go, and I don't go either.
I think that, at least at their age they're at now, maybe those are my fears, but it probably will change once they're older. Like, they're not, I mean, if I don't tell my mom certain things, I know there's going to be things that they don't tell me.
It is so funny to me that they'll pretend, like, they'll think that they're whispering, but, like, you hear the whole conversation.
No, it's because my kids are as loud as me.
That's how my kids
are. So
mentally,
like, they're whispering, but they're, like, talking.
Yeah, like, sometimes, like, I'll be in the bathroom, and I'm, like, sitting there, right? And I'm, like, doing my makeup or using the bathroom or something, and then they'll be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like,
they're whispering loud?
Yes, and I'm like, oh. You guys know I can hear you, right? Like, I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck you just did.
Yeah.
But you better cool it. And they'd be like, how did you know? Like, they're all surprised. Like, how did you know? And I'm just like,
you know, it's so cute.
Because you're whispering loud.
When Junior was younger, the girls would sleep with him. Like, but it's just stuck in my mind that, like, he's older, they're little, they're not supposed to sleep with each other. But back then, like, they would. And then I'd walk to the restroom in the middle of the night, and they would be having their own little conversations. Like Juju, what if, like, this and this and that? Or what is this made out of? And he'd, like, be answering all their questions at night. And I'd be like, oh, my God, my heart.
their mentor.
Yeah. Now they don't get along. Like,
No. It's because they're changing.
Yeah.
Do you fear the same thing as she does? Is that what you were saying?
I want to believe that they're going to tell me everything, but I know, like, I mean, they're going to want to keep some things from me. Like,
yeah.
I know they're not going to tell me, like, the first time they sleep with someone, I think they're going to probe me into, like, telling me, like, when you were young, like, what did you use for protect, or things like that. But they're not going to be totally, like, I had sex, Mom. Like,
like, that happened.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I was that honest with my mom. I just told her I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And, like, I was so upset about it. And she just started laughing at me.
Oh.
She was laughing because she was so excited.
I think she was just nervous.
No, she was so excited.
No?
She wanted babies.
Hear her
Like, she was asking me, like, for 2 years straight that she wanted babies.
Oh, then that's her
and
fault.
I was just like, but I don't want babies. And then finally I was pregnant and I was like so upset, and she's like laughing, excited. She's like, yes, we can have a baby. And I'm just like, oh, it's like, get away. Like, you're annoying me. Get off of me. Get away from me.
You're supposed to cry.
Know,
this is the part where you cry, Mom.
You're supposed to understand me. No.
But you were, what, like 20?
I was 23.
Oh, you were good.
I was old.
You were 23.
Old.
No, you weren't old.
I was on all right age. I still thought I was too young. I would have waited at least another 5 years if it was up to me.
Yeah.
I would have waited 10.
You think so?
I don't know.
Probably
Just depends
not.
on.
Probably not. For me, I don't really have a fear for my kids. They're still too little. I do fear that I am too open and I am too transparent with them, because I'm very transparent with them about everything, about their dad, about the situation with their dad, with everything that has to do with me. Like, they ask me questions like, why are you not with my dad? And I'll tell them the truth, you know, like, or, you know, like, they're getting to a certain age where they ask the questions and I don't know how to answer. Like, before, when they were younger, they'd be like, where's dad at? He used to work there. Is he still working there? And I'm like, nope, he doesn't work there. You know, and now they'll be like, well, I haven't heard from him. Why doesn't he call me anymore? I'm like, I don't know. You're going to have to ask him those questions, you know? Yeah. And now it's gotten to the point now where Max, he has a lot of anger in him. Like, and he won't show it to me. And he'll only show me a glimpse, or like, where I realize, like, there's something wrong. Like, he's so good at hiding it now that it's like, wait, you know, like, I have to pay more attention. And I've always been, like I said, I've always been the type of parent that's transparent. Like, I let everything slide. I'm like, cool, you know, whatever. But like I said, that's what I'm afraid on his side. With Emily, she don't give a fuck. She'll be honest with whatever.
Well, speaking
always
of your situation, my fear right now too is Junior not telling me how he feels about Liriel and his real dad. Like, he's not very open. Like, he knows already, but he's not very open about, like, asking questions about how it happened or why it happened. At what point in his life did it happen? Like, he remembers, like, changes, but he doesn't remember enough.
At what age did Liriel come into his life?
He was like 2.5.
He was 2, so he was really little.
So that's all he knows.
Yeah, that's all he knows.
So he doesn't know his real dad, but he knows. At what age did you tell him?
I think he was like 11 or 12. So
Okay,
it's
so
been a
recently.
while. Yeah.
So
and how did he take that?
So his whole life, he thought this was his dad.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I guess one of my cousins was really drunk one time, and Junior was around him, and he told him. So he was like, "Oh, I already knew," and I was like, "Well, do you like have any questions?" But I don't think he wanted to hurt me or him, so he just
said that was fine.
He just brushes it off now. And then the girls are getting old enough to where they're like, why is Junior's last name Rodriguez and why is ours Coronado? And I'm like, mind your fucking business, dude. Like,
shut up.
Yeah. I'm like because,
don't worry about it.
Like, yeah. I mean, I think they're too little, and I don't want, because my kids can be little assholes. I don't want the girls to one day tell Junior,
like, well, you're not even.
Yeah, you're not even, or like,
and not mean it just because they're mad.
Kids, yeah. So,
but I mean, honestly, like, I feel like you guys, you and Diriel, have that relationship with all three of them that like they're all equal. You know what I mean? So I think if they are bullies, it's just them girls picking on the brother.
So here's a question for you. I have a friend. I'm not gonna name any names because we all know who she is. And she's kind of in a situation similar to that now. But the difference is, no, there is no difference. She has a son, and obviously she had it with another person, and he went to jail. Okay, so now she obviously went on with her life, had another baby, you know, got with another person, and this person helped her raise her son too, who he thinks that is his father. And right now that kid's real dad, his biological dad, got out of jail, and she doesn't know what to do. She's like, should I tell him? Should I not tell him? Like, she's struggling hardcore with how to even process that, if she should just ignore something like that or if she should tell him. So what kind of advice would you be able to give somebody like that? Since you've been through it.
It would come down to the fact if the biological dad wants to be in his life. I think that's what would matter the most. If he wants to be in his life, then she needs to come forward and tell the little boy. But if he's not going to want to be involved, then just leave it how it is. Like, there's no point in messing with that child's emotions if they're not going to be involved, because that's what I'm going through right now. Like, I told Junior already when there wasn't even a point in me telling him, because, I mean, his dad is not in the picture.
But here's the thing that I agree with you with what you're saying. And this is what I told her. I was like, I feel like you need to be honest with him, because what if he holds some type of resentment if he gets older?
And they might find out as they get older.
And to me, it's just like, so why? I feel like you should tell him just because of that, because I don't want you to feel like you're the bad guy, because she's a great mom. She's done everything for you. And just like you did everything for your son. Like, everything that you have done is for your kids. And same thing with her. So I think for any mom, everything that we do are for our kids. And like I said, she just beats herself up about it. And she's just like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want him to hate me later. I don't want him to be like 18.
Won't. That was my fear.
Yeah. And I just told her, I was like, I think you should just come. And that again comes back to me for being so transparent for the same reason. Because I could have done the same thing. I could have hid that completely from my kids. I just chose not to, because I was like, I'm gonna let them make the choice of what they think their father is, or who he's gonna be like. So. And
then the sad part, like, is that we live in the north side. Like, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. That was my fear, like him finding out through someone else too. Like, so
somebody's gonna approach him and say, "Hey, I'm your aunt."
And he did. He did find out through somebody, like
your own family.
My own drunk. It'd be your own family.
Like, it'd be your own
but he
people.
was drunk, so like I was like, whatever.
He probably didn't like really know. Like, should I believe him or not?
Well, guys, thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to listen and follow us on Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Sita, did you want to plug your real estate stuff?
Oh yeah. I am a real estate agent. Go ahead and like and follow my page. It's Sita A de Santiago with Platinum Realty Group. I would love to help you guys with either purchasing a home or the sale of your home. You guys can also call me. There's a little, obviously you guys know how to call through Facebook, so there you go.
All right. Well, this has been Mom Talk, and this is Apoco.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. It did. I think the conversations were just getting.
You guys saw it just got too serious.
Yeah.
Too serious, too quick. I was like, no, cry.
Vacilón, ella lo que quiere vacilón. Vacilón, ella lo que